You know, right now, power is right outside the house with Raila and with the Ruto. And the simple reason is that Ruto has captured the treasury. Nothing happens in this country without his permission. Right. That's why you see when he walks around, you found MPs who should be really, before you do that, you know, the design of our constitution is that the president should be a perpetual lobbyist. You want to appoint people, take their names to parliament, ask parliament to approve, lobby parliament to approve. Yeah. You want to do a budget, propose your budget, take it to parliament, let parliament approve, and these are the representatives of the people. They say, okay, how about my place, I've got this problem. How do you accommodate it here? Then that marketplace, now they need the parliament, people negotiate and come up with a budget that ensures equal development and whatever. The presidency just becomes a tool for implementing the budget that has been decided by the people. But we have turned that around because we failed to do one simple thing. We failed to separate the treasury from the Ministry of Finance. Article 225 clause 1 clearly requires that we set up, Parliament shall establish a national treasury. Yeah. We have not done that. So when now the president appoints the Minister for Finance and appoints the PS and the treasury is a department within the Ministry of Finance, then the president has got to direct the control of the purse. The control of the purse is no longer in Parliament. So there's no power in Parliament. Because the president is the commander-in-chief of the commander-in-chief, but he should not have the purse. That's how power is balanced. But when the president has got both the cake and the knife, then you have to beg. He decides who eats it. Yeah.
Senator, am I hearing you saying no to the MOU that was signed 2 weeks ago?
That's nonsense. Go and read Article 3 clause 2. It says any attempt to establish a government contrary to what is prescribed in the Constitution is unlawful. Tell me where in the Constitution you can get a broad-based government. It's unconstitutional.
Is this establishing a government?
Of course, there's
MOU.
No, they have established a government called broad-based government. They have shared power. They have overturned committees in Parliament. So
it's a memorandum of understanding legally binding.
It may not be. Is this de facto? I told you, it may not be lawful, but de facto it's like a military coup. They have staged a civilian coup against the Constitution of Kenya. That's what they have done. Mr. Raila Odinga and Mr. Ruto have staged a civilian coup against the Constitution of Kenya. There was nothing that could stop Parliament from checking the president, other than the fact that Parliament has not taken away the pass from the president. If Parliament took control of the pass and the president remained with a knife, we'd have sober debate in this country.
But nothing in this MOU takes the power from Parliament. Nothing in the MOU says that now Parliament shall be controlled by the president or by the leader of ODM.
It may not say that. It may not say that. It may not say that. But why should there be an MOU when you have got Parliament? Donated power is exercised through Parliament. KICC is not Parliament. That's the coup. That power is being handled outside the structures of power. When the people elected, they elected people to go to Parliament and people to go to State House.
So we are where we are. How do you fix it? The MOU has been signed. It was public. The two gentlemen are now operating as brothers.
Yes.
Seeing their followers in Parliament doing it. How do we fix it?
We move ahead and implement the Constitution. And among the things we are doing is to organize, to make sure that you have enough voters. Number two, you heard what Nani said the other day at the funeral of SK Macharia, what he said. And the wife was trying to step on his leg and he was saying, please, let me just get it off my chest.
Yeah.
When he said, I even participated in altering of figures. That happens in Bomas. What does the Constitution say? And where more than one candidate is cleared, that's Article 138, clause 2. Where more than one candidate is cleared to run for an election of president, an election shall take place in each constituency. Mambo ya Bomas we don't want. We want the results to be finished in the constituency. We know Madara ni hii. We know Muvita ni hii. We know whatever is this. Then even you people in the media, with the capacity to have reporters everywhere, you can get the results and announce them. It happened in America.
Does that mean no tallying center, no national tallying center?
No national tallying center. You know what the Americans did? You can have what the Americans did. Bombers should be like what the Americans did. By on 6th of November, we knew who had won. But they came until January 6th. That's when they did the formality of saying, okay, now we're endorsing you.
Right.
That thing in bombers should not be a tallying center.
Right.
That's why the wording in Article 10, Article 138.10 is declaration. You will declare the results. The wording in Article 86, clauses 2, clauses B and C, is announce, tally and announce. What's an announcement? It's a declaration. It's a pronouncement of a finding. You don't make a finding in bombers.
Right.
You only formalize. That's why the chairman of ABC is supposed just to declare. But this idea that results from polling stations have to be taken to bombers, transmission, whatever, is not there. We have gone the returning officer in the presiding officer in the polling station, the tallies, gives the returning officer the constituency, who then announces the results of all the bodies. Now, for the county seats, you have a center whereby a declaration of who won the Senate, who won whatever is made. For the presidency, it's the same. Yeah. But you need to have 290 results that have been there. Then you cannot tabulate and say it was 50% plus one achieved. Yes. Was at least 24 counties achieved? Yes. Then you say, okay, this election has gone. If even of the answers to any of the two is no, there's a runoff. Now, the jailbreak has got the strong doors. And for me, the hammer or the ram or the secret weapon to break those doors is Chapter 7, elections or representation, and Chapter 12, public finance. Now you see all the concern that you see, like the passion that lady has spoken about the Bill of Rights. If a similar passion had been focused on elections, on Chapter 7, and a similar passion had been focused on Chapter 12, public finance, you would find that the prison would begin to go, because the weapon to bring down that prison is the Constitution. Implement this Constitution, and the prison is done. That's the method. That's the only thing. That's the destination. If we implement this Constitution, the prison is done. And you have seen the wardens. They have come up with NADCO. They want to blunt the Constitution. Right. They have seen that it's existential to them. It's an existential threat to them. So they have come together, gone to NADCO. You saw our friends Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Raila Odinga, William Ruto. They are all in that NADCO nonsense of trying to say that our Constitution should sort of be messed up with. And then what they're trying to push in, the distortion is, one, entrench CDF so that MPs, because they're going to handle money, they cannot ask hard questions because they're going to mess. Entrench some funds for the senators. Of course, senators have been difficult, because one thing that has been liberating is we don't have CDF. So there's been no handle on senators. So introduce a handle on senators,
give you some money.
Give them some money so that when they mess, when you raise your voice, you say, okay, and can you kindly tell us how you handled the 10 million you were given the other day? You see. So I'm down to create handles on these politicians. So those are things they're putting in. They're trying to introduce things like lead of official opposition so that power can reside outside the house.